Hi guys, it's your girl Nosh, and this is a quick story on how I came upon my healing abilities. Woo! I know everybody's always curious on how I do this and how I do that. I love it when you guys DM me and ask me these questions. I love it. I really do. I love you guys. I really do. You have no idea how much support you guys give me. Because every time I feel like I don't want to do this anymore, which you guys know how many times I go through that mode, I feel like your messages, your comments, your love always brings me back. So this is for you guys. I learned how to heal from my dad. When we were little, I remember we used to get sick. Of course, we all got sick, colds, flu, whatever. And he would do this thing where he would rub his hands and put it over us, and he would pray over us. You know what this man was doing, right? He was healing. I didn't know what it was as a child, but as I got older, I noticed that when you lay hands on someone, the energy that comes from you is unexplainable. Literally. If you could, if there's people out there that can see energy, like I can see energy, I would really, really, if you don't go to church, it's fine. Just, it's the only place you could see it. A place of worship. Try going to a place of worship and watch everybody praying. It's the most beautiful, most divine thing to see, I swear. I love it. I love it so much. To see people put their hands up and pray, the energy that comes off of them. Oof. Oh my God. It's beautiful. And it never fails. Whether it's a Christian church, whether it's a Jewish temple, whether it's a mosque, whether it's a Hindu temple, whether it's, pure prayer and pure worship of the divine gives off such an energy that you actually feel it. I believe all of us know the story, and if you don't, it's a story. It's a parable. Oh, it's not a parable in the Bible. It's just, I guess it's one of the entries in the Bible. It says that Jesus was walking in a crowd, and there was a person who couldn't reach him. And what he did was, he reached out and he touched his garment. The garb that he was wearing. And even though the garment wasn't touching, Jesus' body, it was like kind of dragging, he felt it. He stopped in the middle of the crowd while he's trying to heal everyone. He felt it and he stopped. And he turned to look to see who touched him or who touched his garment. As soon as that individual touched his garment, the man was healed. I think that's beautiful. And we're all able to do the same thing. Believe it or not. These hands, they're amazing. Miracles right here, okay? Prime example, doctors. They have that natural healing in their hands. Caretakers, natural healing in their hand. Babysitters, mothers, fathers, animal lovers. Why do you think animals love you? You guys have those people out there that animals and babies are attracted to. Like for me, I can't go anywhere where there's babies and animals. I love babies, I love animals, so it doesn't bother me. Because I'm the person during these functions where I'm sitting at the kids' table. I'm hanging out with the kids. The kids love me. Kids will gravitate towards me. It's crazy. I could be standing online at ShopRite. Person will be holding a baby in front of them. Baby's turning around smiling at me, and I'm playing with the baby. Next thing I know, baby wants me to hold them. And I notice parents are really picky about who they let their children hold, who holds their children. I've never met an individual that would not let me hold their child. Nope. I feel like everybody lets me hold their kid, and I think that's a blessing. That makes me feel like that my soul is so peaceful that it's so full of light that the children see it. And animals, same thing with animals. No matter what happens, animals always gravitate towards me. Like when I meditate in the summertime, I like to meditate outside in my backyard. And as I'm meditating, I'll notice there's a bird sitting near me. There's a squirrel around me. You know, it's animals. Animals just freaking come out, okay? I don't mind it. I love it. I love it. Because, again, it makes me feel like I'm getting closer and closer to divinity. I'm getting closer and closer to my purpose. Um, my purpose being, you know, to spread as much as love, as much as light that I can, you know. If the animals and the babies and the infants can see it, you know, it's just a matter of time that, you know, that the adults will see it as well, too. So, like I said, going back, the energy from praying is so loud. It's so loud you can see it. Okay? You can see it and you can feel it. Now, I was dating someone who was very into church. He was a born-again Christian. I remember going to church with him, and that's where I saw it, where people would be praying, and the energy would just be so beautiful and so peaceful. I loved it. I loved it so much. But I didn't really like the restrictions that they had. You know, you can't do this, you can't do that. You know, being an Aquarius moon, the innovator, the revolutionist, and being a Sag sun, you know, the house of philosophy, the house of religion, is kind of like, why can't we do this with everybody? Why is it only for the Christians? Or why is this only for the Muslims? Why is this only for the Jewish people? It all comes back to the same thing, right? The prayer is going up to one, you know, one area, you know, like whether you call it God, whether you call it Allah, whether you call it whatever the heck you want to call it, it's the intention is going out to the same prospect, I guess you would say, right? Yeah, the same prospect. Like if me and Karen are praying, I'm praying in Arabic and Karen's praying in English. We're both saying the same thing. You know, I don't understand that. That's another topic for another day. But anyway, I remember we had this situation in church where someone wasn't feeling good. I think something was happening to them. They were sick or whatever. And our pastor, Pastor Scott. Hi, Pastor Scott, if you're watching this. What's up? I don't think Pastor Scott will be watching this. But just in case he is. Pastor Scott was like, you know, everybody put your hands up. Lay your hands on this person and heal them. And when I was doing that, there was like this heat coming out of my hands. It was just ridiculous. I did not understand it. I did not understand what was coming out of my hands. It just felt like, it just felt so warm. It felt like, I literally felt like there was something like shooting out of my hands. It was just so warm, so fucking warm, and it was making my hands vibrate. Here's Pastor Scott walking past me. Walks past me, comes back, looks at me. I'm like, hey, Pastor. Like, you know, like doing my thing, you know, have my hands up, trying to heal this woman. He walks past me, and he looks at me, and he goes, you're on fire. And I'm like, what do you mean? I'm on fire. Like, I'm thinking, like, am I gonna burn in hell or something? What do you mean I'm on fire? He's like, you are on fire. He goes, there's so much heat coming off of you. And I'm like, no, it's kind of hot in here. And he's like, no. He's like, you're a healer. He's like, walking past you, he's like, I could feel your warmth. I could feel the love that you're sending out to this woman that you don't even know. And I was like, oh, okay, all right, I get it. I'm a little dense sometimes, so I said, oh, okay, I get it. That's when he talks to me about, you know, if I would like to be baptized in the holy fire. I'm like, that sounds interesting. And I researched it. So it's not only about talking in tongues, it's about pulling in the spirit so you could heal. You know, heal others. So I said, you know what? If it's gonna help others, if it's gonna, you know, make things better for other people, I'll do it. You know, I'm not picking up the religion or anything, you know what I mean? I'm healing. It's a technique to heal. Which I'm gonna tell you later on what it turned out to be. So I had my pastors lay their hands on me, the pastor's wife, and you know, a couple of people from the congregation of the church laid their hands on me, and they started, you know, praying for me to open up my healing, you know, ability and try, you know, heal others. Again, it wasn't pulling down a ritual or doing magic on me. They literally had their hands over me and started praying that, you know what, God, we ask that you please allow this instrument of yours to heal others. That was them baptizing me, I guess, in the holy fire. And as they were doing that, they kept commenting on how hot I was getting. Like, they felt like I was on fire. And I was like, okay, all right. that was that experience of healing. And then from there, it's like, they did that, intuition started skyrocketing. My intuition was always on point. Like, I always laughed. I would always be like, I don't know, let me think about if this is going to happen or not, to my friends. And I'd be like, okay, this is going to happen. Later on, I found out that's being clairsentient. To being able to understand or recognize if something's going to happen or not, foresee it before it actually happens, to feel it before it happens. And that was something I always did as a kid. I just didn't know there was a name for it. There's a lot of things that we do as individuals that we don't understand that's the name for it. And that's the funny part, because once you understand, oh, that's what I've been doing all these years, what the fuck, So, whatever, they were talking about how my body was on fire, and it's like, I was made for healing, and I'm this instrument, and this, and that, and it felt good, I felt happy. And from there, I started healing people. I started, working more in the church. I started teaching Bible, Sunday school, Bible studies, and I loved it. Again, the kids loved me, so it was just a win-win situation. But unfortunately, me and my significant other at the time ended up breaking up, and it's funny, we broke up because at the end of the day, after doing all of this for 5 years for the church, working with them, and, they came up to me and they asked me, now we want to baptize you to become born again. And I said, no, that I'm not doing. Because even though I attended church, I still had the respect for them to understand that I was just there for healing and to understand and to learn. And this was an experience. It wasn't my job to go there and preach and take over, because I personally did not believe that Jesus was God. I believe that Jesus was a prophet. Jesus is the Spirit of God, yes. That's it. He's not God, though. And there were so many times that I read in the Bible that Jesus said, I am not God. Pray to God, not me. So that's a story for another day. Because I don't want to, no controversy on this channel, all right? We're all free thinkers here. We're all open-minded and open-hearted. We all listen to each other, and we all, try to understand one another. So I'm not here to tell you who is God and who is not God. What I'm here to tell you is my experience of healing people and how it works for me. So if that pulls me close to the divine, to God the universe, and that's what I'm here to do. And if it helps you get closer to God, God the universe, God the divine, then that's what you're supposed to take out of it. So please do not comment any negative, attributes on anything. We all have our own doors that we walk through in order to understand our own journeys, okay? So this is my story about it, where I feel and I believe, I respect everybody else's belief, but I believe that Jesus is a prophet, a man that was able to perform miracles. Now, yes, he was a miracle himself. That's why. That's the belief that, God created him in such a sense, without sin. Like, come on, Jesus was not born out of fornication or procreation. He was born out of a miracle, right? So that's beautiful right there. Does that make him God? No. In my eyes, no, it doesn't. So moving forward. So as I started healing and understanding things, where there are moments where I would be so uncomfortable in the sense where I would be out and I would see a person in front of me online, and I would automatically feel my hands start to buzz. So funny. I would just feel it. I'm holding my keys or I'm holding my item in my hand, and all of a sudden my hands are sweating and they're buzzing. And the person in front of me is just doing their thing. So I'm just looking at them like, as soon as I stood next to this person, my hands started buzzing. What's going on? And then I would get this thought. I'm going to tell you this one incident I had. I was at this place online, I'm holding my items in my hand, and this woman in front of me. As soon as I stepped online, my hands started buzzing. My whole body started buzzing, right? And buzzing, you feel it. It's like an extra, it's a tingly sensation in your body. And everything just starts to get warm. Kind of feels like a hot flash, but it's not. That's the only way I can explain it. And all of a sudden, I got this thought in my head, her knees. I don't know where this thought popped out of. Her knees. Her knees hurt. Her knees are in pain. I'm just like, hello? Why? What are you doing? What are you thinking about? What does her knees have to do with, your hands buzzing? She's talking to the cashier, and she says it. Oh, today's been such a rough day, my knees hurt so much. I'm so surprised I was able to come out today, with this cold weather and this, and that. I'm like, ding, 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 me? Her knees need to be healed. Her knees need to be healed. That was the thought that kept vibrating in my head. Her knees need to be healed. Her knees need to be healed. You need to do it. You need to do it. And I'm like, I don't even know her. Bro, I don't even know her. How am I supposed to walk up to her and be like, hey, can I heal you? What's up? Without her thinking I'm fucking crazy. So I'm like, I'm not going to do it. Not my problem. I was such a skeptical, such a cynic in the beginning, right? So, whatever. She walks out with her groceries. I walk out behind her. And I'm like, yeah, see, it's not my problem. She's parked right next to me. Of all the spaces in the parking lot, this woman is parked next to me. So I put my stuff in the car. I sit down in the car and I'm like, oh, I just did not feel right. I felt like I had to do it. Like, I felt like if I didn't do it, I was going to go home and I was going to feel crappy and I was going to keep thinking about it. And I just did not like how I felt at that moment. So I got out of the car, walked over to her. She was putting stuff into her trunk. And I said, hi, can I bother you for a second? And she's like, yeah, sure. I'm like, can I pray for you? And she's like, I know. I know how crazy this sounds. I know how crazy I look. I know. Trust me, I know. But I need to pray for you. Can I please pray for you? Just let me pray for you. Let me pray for your knees, okay? Let me just pray, okay? And she's like, she had a little girl with her, like maybe like 6, 7 years old, and the daughter's looking at me. She's smiling, and I'm just like, hey kid. Kid's smiling at me. Mom's like, yeah, absolutely. Can you pray for me? So I start praying for her. God, please heal this woman's knees and, take care of everything else that, in her life that needs to be taken care of. I really appreciate it. I'm really, really grateful for this opportunity. And she started crying. And I'm like, uh-oh, was I supposed to make her cry? Like, what's going on? And then after I'm done with the prayer, and she hugs me, and her daughter hugs me. And it just felt so warm. It felt so good. It melted me. It literally melted me. And then she says to me, she goes, I've been thinking about praying for the longest. She goes, but I've been afraid that I can't pray anymore, that I've lost the ability to pray. She goes, and you prayed for me. And I said, you haven't lost the ability to pray. It's just that you don't pray. Start praying again, and you'll be fine. And she said, thank you so much. She's like, I turned away from God and this and that. And she goes, this was a confirmation because I've been asking, for the past couple of weeks to give me a sign, that you've forgiven me and this and that. And she's like, and then you come out of nowhere and you want to pray for me. And I'm like, wow. I'm like, wow, oh my God, this is beautiful. And she's like, thank you so much. And I said, don't thank me, thank God. Thank God the universe, because he used me as an instrument to help you out. She was so happy. Just to see that happiness, oh my God. I never stopped after that. That was 2011, and I never stopped. I realized that day what my purpose is. It's to help individuals. And how it happens for me is either you gravitate towards me, or I see it in you, but I have to ask your permission to do it. I had to go up to her and say, can I pray for you? That's the only tricky part. I try to pray for people as much as I can from a distance and try to heal them as much as I can from a distance, but it actually affects more and it works more faster if I actually have your permission. Because you have to understand, you guys are an entity on your own, right? You're an entity on your own. And how it works is you have to give me permission, because I can't do anything unless you allow me to do it. In other words, no one can do anything to you unless you allow them to do it. So now, what happens is, my hands start buzzing. I feel it. I let it out. I let it go. And it actually helped me a lot more since I've learned how to do Reiki. I got certified in Reiki last year in 2018, winter of 2018. And believe it or not, it's the best thing I've ever done for myself, because I can heal myself now easily, and I can heal others now. And it's amazing, because you can heal trauma, you can heal emotional trauma, emotional pain, you can heal physical pain. You just have to believe it, So when my hands start buzzing, I know exactly what I need to do. There's somebody around me that needs healing, and I go for it. There's some individuals that I kind of get intimidated by. I'm kind of afraid to ask them if I can heal them, because I'm kind of afraid that they probably don't believe anymore. So for those individuals, I kind of like heal from afar because I'm not going to give up. You know, absolutely not. If this was my purpose and this was what I was born to do, to heal others, to help others, then that's exactly what I'm going to do. So that's my little story on how I heal. And I hope you guys like it. I hope you guys enjoyed it and kind of, gave you a little bit more on what I do. Tarot readings are a hobby for me. I like to believe more in the universe and let the universe do what it needs to do. And I'm totally knocking my business right now, and I'm totally knocking down my channel. But it's the truth, guys. I will never lie to you guys. If you believe in a positive outcome, the positive outcome will happen, okay? Looking at tarot videos every single day, every hour, relying on tarot is not going to do it. The tarot only gives you a glimpse, okay? And I know other readers might hate me for saying this, but we are not God. Most readers, honestly, the real spiritual ones, will not hate me for saying this. They'll actually be like, you know what, she's right. We are not God. Yes, we have the ability to peer into the veil and see what's going on and come back and tell you guys that if you do this or do that, it can work out like this. But at the end of the day, it's your free will. It's how you move. It's your perspective, Like, it's my free will at the end of the day if I want to heal somebody or not, It's my free will at the end of the day if I want to help someone with tarot or not. So what I'm trying to say at the end of the day is, you can heal yourself, number one. You can tune into yourself and probably do tarot yourself. You don't need to rely on others. Rely on yourself. Believe in yourself. Love yourself. There's a passage in the Bible that says, do not seek favor with man, seek it from God. Okay? Again, not to be preachy or anything, but it's the truth. What you're asking man to do, God can do it for you even better. Okay, you don't want to call him God, the universe can do it for you even better. That being, that divine, that whatever that force is that makes us breathe when we wake up in the morning. That force that, makes those flowers bloom during springtime. That force that brings, these little baby deers in the springtime. That brings the snow, brings the rain, brings the changes in the leaves, the weather. That force right there. Believe in that, at least, And from that belief, that's where the love begins, That's where light can take over darkness. It just starts with belief, okay? And I will always preach about that. Always preach about the light. I don't care no matter what happens to me, no matter what goes on in my life, no matter how dark my times are, because sometimes I do go through my dark night of the soul. I was going through my dark night of the soul these past few months. That's why I wasn't doing tarot videos, because it wasn't fair to you. I'm responsible for my own energy. And if my energy isn't right, I'm not feeling right, I have no right to bring it upon you, okay? Always remember that. You're responsible for your own energy. You can heal, and you have free will, okay? So on that note, I'm going to let you guys go. I hope you enjoy your Thursday. I hope you enjoy your weekend. And, again, leave some comments down at the bottom and let me know what you think of this, And, guys, if you do need healing, please feel free to DM me. I don't charge for my healing. I feel like medicine should not be charged. So if you need anything, let me know. I will try my best to try to heal it. Again, I am a Reiki master here, level 1 and 2 and 3. I've learned from the Reiki master Usai, so if you want to look it up and check it out, definitely do it. If you're interested in Reiki, if you want to know how to get into it, if you want to know where the classes are. My professor was Melissa Crowhurst. She's awesome. She's on Edemy. Edemy, I believe it is. Edemy.com. EDEMY.com. Check it out if you're interested. Shout outs to Melissa Crowhurst. I love you. Thank you so much. She did my Reiki attunement, and after she did my attunement, oh my God. Life has been so much better. Life has been so much clearer. All the answers have been so much clearer, Now it's just the process of being patient, of letting everything unfold as it's supposed to. And I think the Reiki really helped with that. So try it out, guys, and let me know what you think. All right? Bye.